Thank you very much for joining us here today as we educate our parent and family members about our housing options here at Rutgers. So if you can please take a moment to introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about your department.
I'm Carrie Wilson, the Director of Off-Campus Living and Community Partnerships. We're a department at the university with 3 areas of focus. The main thrust of what we do is help students find housing off campus and know what their rights are as tenants and their responsibilities are as community members. And then the community partnership piece is that we work with all of our faith-based communities. We advise the religious and religious cultural student organizations on campus. We do interfaith programming, and we work with our multi-faith council. And then we also facilitate opportunities for students to be involved with local community service opportunities.
So Carrie, what are the benefits of living off campus, and at what timeline should our students begin thinking about this process?
The benefit to living off campus really is the opportunity for students to have more of an independent living experience. So when they live in the residence halls, there are more rules that they have to follow, and which isn't a bad thing. But certainly, the opportunity to live off campus and have that independent decision making and develop those skills is a key part of their development during college. So, for that reason, we recommend that they live on campus for at least 2 years. It really does take a certain level of maturity to sort of navigate the off-campus community, and so we feel that the longer they live in the residence halls and get more acclimated to the university community, the more successful they'll be when they move off campus.
Your office provides a wide variety of services for students, including community partnerships and the like. Can you tell us a little bit more about the areas that your office focuses on?
Sure. So we focus on a number of areas. We talk about gaining the skills that students need in order to move off campus. So, knowing what to look for in an apartment, knowing that when they go into a space, that they open a window and run the sink and flush the toilet and do all those sorts of things that may not be common sense for them at this age to know that this is something they should do when they're going into an apartment off campus. We will talk with them about what's appropriate to be in a lease and what isn't appropriate to be in a lease, and provide opportunities for them to meet with an attorney at a low cost or even for free, depending on if we have a program coming up where we're bringing some attorneys in. We host an off-campus housing fair where we bring local landlords in to talk about what they are providing for students, what apartments they have for rent. And in a program like that, we have RUPD there to talk about safety, living off campus. We also work with our faith-based communities to provide opportunities to provide opportunities for students, to engage in conversations about faith. And so, what can we learn about other people through an interfaith dialogue? What can we learn about our own faith? So there's different opportunities to work towards really creating an inclusive environment on our campus. And then we also provide opportunities for students to do local community service. So our philosophy behind that is, regardless of where you live, whether it's on or off campus, you spend a lot of time in New Brunswick. So you're not just a guest here, you're a part of that community. So how can we, the folks who are shopping here, studying here, socializing here, give back in a positive way? So we work with local service providers or community partners to provide students the opportunity to do service on an ongoing basis, and that's through our our Give Where You Live interns, who are students who are planning these opportunities for students. We do a lot with litter reduction. We've partnered with the city of New Brunswick to really take a stab at reducing the amount of litter in the city. And so students can join us in our community cleanups and other programs to really educate the community about the impact of litter on a healthy living environment.
So what are some of the ways that your office encourages students to engage with the New Brunswick community?
So again, some of the ways that I just talked about in terms of volunteer opportunities, as well as through these community cleanups. We also talk with students. We have our Good Neighbor Liaisons, which are undergraduate students who work for us, who serve as resources for students in the community. And we talk with them or provide them with the tools to talk with others about what we call the art of neighboring, what it means to be a neighbor. And again, it's this idea that it's not just students who are living in New Brunswick. And I think our students tend to forget that sometimes. So we want them to know there are young professionals living next door to you. There are families, there are children who have school in the morning. Some of our off-campus houses are right next to an elementary school. So how can we be role modeling appropriate behavior, still living a college lifestyle, but in a positive way that contributes to a healthy and safe community in New Brunswick.
So what tips do you have for safety for our students who live in and interact with the New Brunswick community?
Safety is really an important message that we want to get out to students, and we want them to understand what their responsibility is in safety. And there's a number of them. There's, the idea that if you see something, say something. That's a really key piece to creating a peaceful, yes, obviously, but a really key piece to creating a safe community environment because, the police can't be everywhere. So they rely on us to be the eyes and ears. And if something is out of the ordinary, they would rather we call and report that and have them investigate it and have it be nothing than have something happen and they didn't know about it and folks saw a car driving around or something amiss in the community. So again, the idea of if you see something, say something. We also want folks to understand that living in community, it's this is creating a caring environment. So friends shouldn't let friends walk back and forth to and from campus alone, particularly at night. Don't be buried in your headphones, in your phone, checking Facebook and all that fun stuff. You really want to make sure that you're tuned into what's going on in your surroundings. We want students to be responsible for their valuables, all sorts of messages that we've heard all of our lives. But I think, at this age, students tend to think that they're invulnerable or it's not going to happen to me. And so we've actually partnered with Residence Life to do what's called the Night's Watch campaign. And it's a whole marketing campaign aimed at getting students to understand what their responsibilities are related to safety, again, on and off campus. And then, having them be part of this group. There's responsibilities. Once you're part of the Night's Watch, you have some responsibility in helping create this community of care. And so we have expectations of what students are going to do with that. We also have a community police officer who works directly with our office. She's actually housed in our department with us. And it's been a great opportunity for us to collaborate on programming, to be able to get out there in the community and interact with students in a positive way.
So are there any other last thoughts that you have for our parents and family members as they think about off-campus living?
Sure. I think, for us, it's really important that students know that we are a resource for them on campus, that they're welcome to come to our house. That's our department is in a house in the off-campus community. And we really strive to create a very warm and welcoming environment. And so we want folks to feel comfortable to come in to, find out how they look for housing off campus, or find out how they can get involved in the different faith-based communities at Rutgers. How can they get involved in service? What resources do we have available for them? If a student is suffering with food insecurity, can we invite them? They are invited into our house and we're happy to help them. And we don't want any stigma attached to anybody coming in and asking for help. It's a very warm and welcoming environment, and it's important that folks know that.
Well, thank you very much for sharing this important information with us about your department. We truly appreciate you being here today.
Well, thank you, Ashley, for having us. We really appreciate it.